Arg! Ahoy there, matey! Welcome aboard the world of boating.
Please stand clear of the doors. Por favor, manténganse alejado de las puertas.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
You're gonna need a bigger boat.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
I was just looking into buying a boat of my own.
Call World of Boating toll-free now at 1-8888-28-BOAT. That's 1-888-828-BOAT.
And welcome. This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Barry the boater, Captain Patrick rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. And, we kind of have one hand tied behind our back because Barry is on the mend. Because guess what? Old Barry the boater, he got COVID again. Oh, Barry the boater got COVID again.
Is that what
He
you've been
just wanted to
practicing all this time?
go boating with his friends. But Barry the boater, he got that COVID again.
Oh, thank you. I got Patrick doing a backup for you too. He's doing the
There
he'll
you
do
go.
the solo.
Yeah. No solos. That's all we got. But there you go. I'm
Thank
glad
you.
you're back, Barry, though.
Thank you.
You sound a little under the weather. Actually, you sound sexier. So
Yeah,
maybe that'll
something my
play
voice
to our
was
advantage.
my voice was about an octave lower, and everyone was saying, "Hey, that sounds pretty good."
Yeah, actually,
But,
it's going to make things a little more awkward, is my guess. It's not really.
Is that Barry the boater or is that Barry White?
It's
Yeah.
Barry White, the boater.
Oh,
Yes.
boy.
Yeah,
Oh, boy. So it's going to be one of
Oh,
those
boy.
kind of, virtual cruises through the latest boating news and information today. Barry, or sexy Barry, is going to
If
be
my
on
voice
board.
stayed this way, but it won't.
Yeah, you'll go back to your old nerdy self here in
Yep.
another day or two. You're feeling fine,
Sooner or
though,
later.
right?
I just feel very tired.
Yeah.
I just been dragging. I mean,
Mhm.
and I had to go to work. It's tax season. It's not like I could sit at home.
Right.
So
But doing taxes, you don't have to talk to anybody, so you're.
no, but
pretty
you have
much
to
good.
concentrate. You're looking at a tax return, and your mind starts
if
to
you get
wander
a
and gets fuzzy.
decimal point one way or the other, who cares?
As long as it's the correct way,
If you say so.
to make
right.
to make the client happy.
right.
Like if I was working on your stuff, I might have actually cost you more money.
Maybe.
Yeah, and you probably would have yelled out, Greg, for the love of God, you can't claim that. How many times have I told you?
I just puts everything in miscellaneous and doesn't worry about it.
Okay. Well, I just claimed that guitar because I played a song about Barry having COVID on the World of Boating. So there you go.
There you go. Depreciation.
It's a work tool. We'll go with that for now. All right. So, look, couple weeks away from the Miami International Boat Show. Do we got plans to go, by the way, yet? Patrick,
Are you coming down? Come on. We had so much fun last year. Let's do it again, Patrick.
yeah. Are you going or no?
I am so deep in boat show prep right now.
Yeah.
Because at the factory, I have my what I would consider my regular job, as a yacht portfolio manager, and we had some people who had left the company over the past couple of years. So one of the people who had left, I am now overseeing the service facility again, which I'd done for quite a number of years before I took a role up front in administration in 2016. So now I'm back doing that, and of course the service shop. We also take care of boat shows, photo shoots, magazine tests, dealer conference. So the boat show thing right now is absolutely, first of all, truly hats off. Things when you go to a boat show, what you see it when it's all done, but when you truly get an idea of what those areas look like pre boats coming in and getting set, and this platforms and the stages getting built, and all the work that goes into that. I mean, it's all truly, there's manual labor going on. There's a lot of fit and finish custom stuff getting done on the fly because despite your best efforts, things don't get set right. And then you got to make these modifications to make sure that everything looks great. And you go in there and it's like, man, all this good white carpet and gleaming glass and steel. And wow, this looks fantastic. And the people who have to really put so much effort and long hours into setting that up, and then as quick as it's done, they're tearing it all back down.
That's right.
Okay.
It's truly hats off to everybody who's involved with boat shows, certainly the Miami Boat Show in particular, with the exception of the Miami Beach Police Department, which I still have a problem with.
Are they having a problem with you?
Oh yeah, they do. They
bet
almost
they do.
arrested me one year.
Mhm.
You
I
have
almost
to
wound
come.
up in handcuffs.
Right.
We
Well, I
had-
just asked if you were going to the boat show. We got that whole thing, which is fine, but you never answered. So are you thinking after all that you've had enough and for the prep and you might not go, or you're just going to make a last-minute decision?
I will probably decide this week if I'm going to make that trek down.
Yeah.
There was just the last couple weeks at the factory level. Again, between what I normally do and this other stuff that I'm now in charge of, it has been just unbelievably busy. I feel like I've barely had time to breathe. I'm kind of breathing like Barry right now, except
All right.
without the sexy rasp.
Oh, what says Barry the COVID boater? What do you say?
Well, you know something? Patrick really needs to come down at least for one day to see if our friend will still be out at the street corner painting the sidewalk again.
What are you talking about? What guy? What
The
happened?
guy that sits in the corner of downtown Miami urinating in a corner.
Oh,
he
and
is a
calls it
performance
art, or
artist.
are you calling it art? What?
It's these are the regulars that you got to see how they're doing after
Uh-huh.
a year to see if there's they
Oh.
made it through another year.
Listen, he did an incredible painting of Van Gogh's Starry Night,
Hmm.
No.
all with urine based. It was
Okay.
amazing.
You're in base paint. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, that's a first.
And we
Okay.
have to film Speed too, Barry.
Yeah, right.
What?
But I'm telling
Part two.
you right now, I ain't getting back on one of those buses.
No,
it
no,
ain't
no.
happening.
It took longer. We spent more time on the bus than we did over at that dock. It was a lot
Okay.
of traveling for not much.
Well, maybe we ought to keep Barry and Patrick away from each other. I don't know the way it's sounding, but you guys do you. I haven't decided if I'm gonna come down yet, but I might. We'll see. We got a lot
Well, you
going
gotta
on.
let us know so we can all kind of get down there and then we can gang up on you.
Oh, I thought you were let us know so we know how to avoid the area at all costs on the day that you want to be there.
Oh,
No,
you and I
know-
used to do that show for years, Greg.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's true. I've had a lot going on. I've been diving with sharks and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. So we'll see. I mean, it's still a couple weeks ago, but it's probably going to be a last minute decision for me. A lot of stuff going on this weekend as we lead up to that, though. Gasparilla Festival over in Tampa, where they, it's like, be like a pirate weekend in Tampa. And
Arr.
I got this press release how the Florida Aquarium is encouraging people to pick up beads because they're afraid they're going to show up in the ocean. So if you bring a bucket of beads after the Gasparilla Parade, which, they do that Mardi Gras thing like they do there and, Key West, and people throw beads out for people to expose themselves. I guess that happens at the Gasparilla Parade too, that they'll give you half price admission to the aquarium with a bucket of beads. I'm like,
So if I throw beans at you, you will not take
well,
off your
beans, I might eat those, but if
Oh,
they're
okay.
beads, like plastic beads, they're trying to keep out of the environment. And I
That makes
never
sense.
thought about beads being an issue. So maybe they got to come up with a better thing. Throw candy or rat poops or something at people in the parade route.
rat poops.
I don't know, something small that looks like a bead but is environmentally sensitive. Hey, enjoy
I
the
really don't know.
Hey,
if that's
show us your-
environmentally-
show us your
rat poop.
show us your nether regions. We're gonna throw
Yeah.
a necklace of, chocolate beads at you or something. I don't know. You got to
Listen,
think.
over at Gasparilla, showing your nether regions is a given.
Well, it goes with the territory. That's how you get the beads. I mean, I'm just saying. Hey, I prefer to have environmentally sensitive beads. And if you're willing to cough that up, you can see the baby maker. I don't know.
How did I not know about that part?
Okay, well now you know, and
Yeah.
you can't really unknow it. But yeah, I didn't know plastic beads were a thing. But they're bringing awareness to it. I think that's a good thing. I mean, we want to keep plastic out of the environment for boaters, divers, and everyone. So they're doing their part. So that's going on this weekend. Take it for what it's worth. Keep your beads to yourself, or take them over to the Florida Aquarium. Get half off admission through February with a bucket of beads. But we do have some other stuff going on for the boat show as leading up, to it in a couple weeks. We got a little tidbit that I think Captain Patrick's ready to share. Top 7 things to make your boat trailer better or something like that. We'll find out about that and then some next on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Hosting a radio show about scuba diving and boating is one of the best gigs on the planet. It's actually part of my job to check out and report on cool new products I personally use to enhance my diving and boating adventures. However, I do believe in sharing the joy, and this is why we've added Nanook protective hard cases to our list of products you can now purchase on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Nanook cases are designed to protect the most sensitive equipment in the harshest environments. Underwater photographers, listen up. From their high-impact NK7 resin to their exclusive Power Claw latches, Nanook has raised the bar for those of you that demand the best protection for your gear. Plus, Nanook protective cases cost less than similar products currently on the market. The company has been around for over 15 years, but it's new to the U.S., so we've made a small number of Nanook cases available exclusively for you at a special introductory price on the merchandise page at scubaradio.com. Go there now and check out Nanook, the evolution of protection.
Be an explorer in the other two-thirds of your world. Be the buddy who takes the kids in the aquarium instead of just to it. Be adventurous. Be amazed. Be a diver.
Even Keatley wasn't ready for me, or anything that followed. Chased by a police department, led by his ex-girlfriend, and hunted by brain fork-wielding Fijian assassins, it's everything he can do to keep from getting locked up, killed, or worse. Kava Screw is available as an ebook for $2.99 at Amazon.com. Kava Screw. Put a brain fork in him. He's done.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
You guys, where's Haley? She is on a boat in the marina, putting you in her rear view mirror. Boats have those, don't they?
Come on down to my boat, baby. Come on down where we can play.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate. Barry, the COVID boater, and Captain Patrick rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. Get ready for the Discover Boating Miami International Boat Show in a couple weeks. And along those lines, Discover Boating, that's where this top 7 trailer tips came from, Patrick. Is that right or what?
The top 7 tips came from Discover Boating.
Right, which also does the Miami International Boat Show now. It's the Discover Boating Miami International Boat Show. It's their show, I guess. So
As presented by Discover Boating, discoverboating.com, Discover Boating and its affiliates, Discover Boating Magazine, and Discover Boating, the TV channel.
yeah, they really got to work on their branding, I'll tell you. But these 7 tips, Barry is a trailer boat guy himself, so he will benefit from some of this knowledge, I assume. No? He already knows it all?
Probably, and some of these, okay, first of all, the article is top 7 ways to upgrade your boat trailer. And some of these are not, you're not really upgrading, it's really maintaining on most of these. Like the first one, new tires.
Oh, well.
Okay.
I prefer to wait until they actually blow up before I change them.
Now, Barry, are you a fan of going slightly larger in tire capacity than what your trailer and your boat is rated for, say fully loaded? Or are you one of those, you're going to be right at you're skirting the line?
Well, it's not a matter of skirting the line. It's what tires are available for the wheel size that my trailer uses. And it is actually limited. I was surprised it was hard to find manufacturer. The manufacturer of my original tires was the only manufacturer I could find with that particular tire size. That was, I think they're H rated or something. They're made for trailers. They have a special rating to them.
Man, Barry's trailer's so old. I mean, he's talking about the tires that were made by Fred Flintstone.
Actually, they were
They were
wooden hull-
Flintstones.
They were made
Get
of
it?
stone.
Yeah, get it.
The brakes were his feet.
That's
I don't
right.
see the comparison at all, but
I
All
kill
right.
me.
okay.
Number 2, LED lights. Now
Yes, I did that.
See, Barry's
Yeah.
Barry's on the cutting
Yeah.
edge of
I
all.
got tired of changing out light bulbs and then dealing with rust and all that. Nice sealed set of
There
LED
you go.
lights.
Now, let me ask you something from a
Yeah.
maintenance standpoint, because, of course, going back years ago, as we on the factory level, when we started getting trailers in that were LED lights, and that whole light housing changed from that old square black plastic with the exposed underside, where it was great for water to get up in there and, get to all the components and rust out the bulb and all that, to LEDs where it's really plug and play. Do you take special care to pull that plug every now and again? Make sure the connections on the backside are good. Maybe a little bit dielectric grease before you plug it all back together, or you just
Well, when it was wired, they had the wires going through a rubber grommet, and it's all molded, and it's
Okay.
all glued in, and there's no plug to plug into the back of the
really?
LEDs. Yeah, they were molded with long wires on them, and I just used my waterproof crimps and all that to put it all
Okay.
together.
Now, the ones I've dealt with is usually a 3-prong, nice big rubber boot plug.
Well,
on
then,
the
yeah, you
backside.
should pull those
Right.
out at least once a year and put dielectric on there.
Number 3, new hitch.
No,
Eh,
I mean,
unless you had a really bad time backing up somewhere, the hitch should be good to go.
Well, it
although-
should be, but you want to replace before it's not.
Well, when we're talking about the hitch, I mean, again, depending on the trailer and the type of hitch you have, you could look at replacing some of the components,
Mhm.
or from a maintenance, especially if you got that little fork on the underside has been bent, or you're having to take a hammer to it to bang it down to lock it.
A hammer?
Barry, you know exactly
no.
what I'm talking
No,
about.
no, I
You've
don't-
seen people at the ramp doing that stuff. They get
Well,
the 2x4 from the bed of the truck and they're whacking the thing because that's the only way they can get it to lock.
Okay.
No. I spray white lithium grease all over inside the workings of that, so it doesn't rust up like that. But my trailer tongue is folding. So you're talking about the hitch that's mounted underneath my truck with the receiver hitch, and then you have the receiver, and then the hitch that goes in there, the
Mhm.
ball.
Yeah, that, and I guess I was more referring to the new a coupler.
Coupler, the coupler. Yeah, the coupler I keep watch of. I make sure it's greased up. I also grease the ball on my
you use
trailer,
grease
on
or
the hitch.
lube?
Well, it's like a grease
Okay.
because
All
lube
right.
is too liquidy, and then of course someone will walk by and rub their leg across it and curse at you. What is all this greasy stuff on there? I said, well,
Why are they
that's-
rubbing their leg on your trailer?
Well, they
hitch?
walk by and they trip on it. Go ahead.
Oh,
Here's something for our listeners out there. If you're having your boat, you're dropping it off for service somewhere, and it is a trailered boat. Make sure that the service center, because I still get on people at the factory for doing this, and some people would be like, "Man, that's such a pain. You got to do this," but this is the way you do it. When we back up to a trailer with the tractor to go move it and make our connection, raise the rear of the arm on the tractor, comes in, then set the brake back into neutral on the tractor, get off and lock that latch down,
Mhm.
and then pull it. But we have people that, they're too lazy and they'll go pull it. And then what happens when they come to a stop and all that weight surges forward, well, it doesn't pop, but that fork underneath the latch winds up getting bent.
Oh,
Okay. Because all that, and they jackknife it. And so if you're dropping ask them, how you see them moving it around with a forklift, maybe they've got a tractor. But when you go to pick your boat up, don't assume. I would always inspect the bottom side of your
I know what you're
coupler.
talking about. Yeah, the where it ties together when you push the
Correct.
latch down. But I've always latched it down, and again, always lubricate. I never thought about having to beat that with a hammer because no one
Well,
ever
you
took
don't
care of it.
drop your boat off for service anyway. Nobody touches your boat except nobody puts
Except me.
Barry's boat in a corner.
No. All right, what's next?
Disc brakes.
No.
Eh,
I don't have brakes.
well, your boat weighs 5 pounds.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
So wheel bearings, enough said.
Yep,
Absolutely.
already changed.
And here's the thing. Don't skimp when it comes to wheel bearings.
No.
You know, because you're going to get what you pay for. And if you do it and you do it right, and you get the nice seal bearings, oil, you know, you're going to have less issues moving forward than the old pull the rubber cap and let me squeeze some axle grease, bearing grease in there.
Yeah.
Right. And
How
my oil.
How
my
often
oil
should
bath?
you do that,
Well,
though?
I did mine when greasing the bearings. Every time we'd come out of the water,
Yeah.
that's when we pull the rubber cap and pump grease, because then you see all the bad, all the milky would all come out of there. And now I know I've got fresh grease in there, and I'm going to go pull the boat another 200, 250 miles. I'm ready to go.
And on my oil bath hubs, you can see it's see-through.
Yep.
And when the oil is fresh, it has a golden color. And as it starts to, as long as it doesn't get milky, but as long as it stays clear, it will get darker. And then you could change it out. It's got a drain hole and all that, so it's not a big deal. And they work great because I drive 20, 30 miles, and then I'll stop at the ramp and I'll touch the wheels, and they're cool. They're not hot. So I know nothing's been over, too tight.
You do
There you go. All right. We got more coming up on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network.
Traffic sucks, unless you're scuba diving with Mike Scott.
Mike glanced down at his dive computer. It showed less than 50 psi left in his tank. Probably just a few more breaths.
Or riding shotgun in a thrilling car chase.
One bullet hit the Jeep's windshield, spiderwebbing the passenger side. Mike shifted into second gear and felt the Jeep leap forward. This just got serious.
Escape your commute with audiobooks from author Eric Douglas. Download to your phone. Go to booksbyeric.com or audible.com.
Do you have a message or product you need to share with the boating world? Well, look no further than the World of Boating radio show. Just like you, thousands of boating enthusiasts are hearing this message, and we could be talking about you and your product or service as early as next Saturday. Remember, a terrible thing happens when you don't advertise. Nothing. Go to worldofboating.com, send us an email, and let's get to work to make your marketing message matter.
You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Ryan, we've got to get on that ship. Attention passengers. The karaoke contest will begin in 5 minutes.
Okay, now we've really got to get on that ship.
Look at me, I'm ship-faced. I'm a nautical disgrace. Round these yachties, I'm out of place. I'm ship-faced.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Captain Patrick, Barry, the COVID boater. He's holding up pretty good, considering that virus got a hold of him again. For how many times you've had it now, you figure, Barry?
This
3?
is 2.
2
times.
Okay, that you're aware of. Maybe more.
No, I don't know, because it hit me like, every time I got the shot, I had the same symptoms, but the shot only lasted a day or two.
Okay.
No, this hit me for a week like last time.
Well, now you'll be good to go for maybe another
and
week or two.
my voice is sexy again for a couple of years.
Okay, if you say so. It's making things quite awkward here as we
just
navigate
breathe.
7 trailering tips to make your tow boating better, I guess. How many have we got so far there, Patrick?
That's pretty much the list, but
We got 'em
Barry
through?
and I wanted to add a few more that they
Okay.
didn't list that are really, 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 really important. Strap, not just your winch, but looking at your strap, inspecting that. If you're one of those where that strap has snapped and you're running that strap through the eyelet of the hook, and you've got 9 very poorly tied knots.
Or zip ties holding it together.
And just to clarify, you mean strap, not to get confused with strapping down your winch. That's a totally different thing, right?
This is the strap on the winch, on the bow winch.
A strap-on winch. Oh, okay.
No, the strap, the strap that is part of the winch.
Oh, got
The
it.
thing that goes click, 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 click,
Right.
and it has
And
a long strap and it pulls the boat up.
And again, it's one of those things. Don't skimp. Pay the money. Get the one that is probably exceeds slightly really what you need, but inspect it, especially if your boat tends to sit a while. It's not inside a nice air-conditioned, climate-controlled, UV-protected residence like Barry's boat, where it's exposed to UV, those straps, and if for those boaters out there, you know which ones I'm talking about, they turn gray after just a short period of time. When you start to see those threads pop and that, don't wait. Just go and replace the strap.
Or your boat will end up on World of Boating on the side of the road somewhere.
And in addition to that, make sure you got stern straps as well. A spare tire mounted, a spare tire carrier mounted on the front, and maybe a nice little utility box. Doesn't have to be very big, but mounted to the front of your trailer, secured properly through the frame, and put, a spare bearing, just some basic tools that you may need, stuff that's not going to rust, a grease cartridge, grease gun, and just plan for the unexpected. It's like when we take our boat out on the water, we're carrying all this extra gear with the hoping that we'll never have to use it, but we do it because it's required. Nothing is worse than being on your way, especially a trip that you've done 300 miles, you're 50 miles from the end destination, and a bearing lets go, tire blows, and it's 2:00 in the morning, and you're stranded on the side of the road because you've probably passed those boats many, many times that are just sitting there, very sadly, waiting for their owner to return.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
Free boat. Come and get it.
Free boat.
One other thing to check. My trailer did not come with chains. It came with these wires. What would you call them, Patrick? Cables. Okay. Cables that were encased in plastic. And they always looked good until one day I was looking at one and I kind of wiggled it and it snapped off.
Oh, that's never good.
Because the cabling inside, the steel inside had rusted because it was covered with plastic. You didn't see what was going on inside. So if those have been on for a few years, you may want to really give them a good tug or change them out with chains because you can see the chains when they start to go bad.
Chains are better. Barry, quick question.
Yeah.
And this will tell me what kind of a boat hauler you are. Do you cross your chains or do you leave left to left, right to right?
I cross them.
Good job. Good job.
Because it'll catch the one time. Yes. No, it happened. The first couple of weeks I used the boat. When I had the cables, I still crossed them. And I thought I latched down that latch on the, and as I stop at the light, I feel the boat bounce. And I go, that's weird. And I get out and I could lift it. And I go, something's not right here. And I had not locked it down. It was sitting on top of the ball. It wasn't latched in.
So with the latch, do you have a pin to put in or a quick release? Okay. Because that makes sure that even if you're doing it day in, day out, but I latch it down. Oh yeah, I got to put my lock in here. I got to put a through bolt, something like that. Something that's going to make sure it's kind of just sets that off in your head that you've got that thing secure. It's not going to pop up. But from the world of boating, never cross the streams, but always cross your chains.
Okay, well, that's no fun.
Guys, we need to have a serious discussion. And I do mean serious.
Okay.
We have to talk about balls. We have to talk about balls because we had this story out of the Keys where this free diver, and I got some questions for Greg on this, where this guy was out free diving. He said to about 35 feet. And then he said that he got pushed down to like 150 feet. Greg, is that possible?
Absolutely. Down current. Yeah, he was, I saw the story. I saw a video, and he said that they were working the Gulf Stream, and he got caught in the current, and it pulled him down and away much faster than the boat was able to track him. So he got, pulled out of range of maybe being able to be seen and just lucked out because they did find him. And it was dark when they found him. I was like, man, he's wearing a black wetsuit and the whole thing. Right. It's not good. Yeah.
And they found him. But circling back to balls, when he surfaced, he made his way over to a marker. And from there, he cut loose some mooring balls and pretty much made a makeshift raft.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what saved him.
Well, yeah, I mean, unfortunate for the mooring balls, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
mean,
those
you
are
know,
those big white and blue ones that Ocean Conservancy and other groups put out there
yeah.
years ago.
Are you sure he cut him loose? I thought he would just hung on one of them or a couple of
No,
them.
he
but
said he got him loose and made a basically a makeshift raft.
Well, I mean, it worked for him, whatever he did. I mean,
Yeah.
I think he's very lucky, and I think he knows it. And he seemed pretty humbled by the whole experience from the interview that I saw. But yeah, the down currents is very possible. I mean, it happens, as far as scuba diving, what the area known for the most crazy currents is probably Cozumel, but you have them all over the world. And
But I thought recreational dive limit is what, 120 feet?
yeah, but he's free diving, so he's not using tanks.
Yeah,
He's,
that's the difference.
Yeah, so he could actually go much deeper. He's not limited by recreational dive limits. I mean, the thing is, you're not supposed to be free diving without a buddy either. So they didn't really talk about what was going on, with his buddy. Usually if you're doing it properly, the thing is one guy stays at the surface, watch the guy who free dives down, and then they alternate back and forth, just as another added level of safety. And
Yeah,
I
he
did
said
not
he had-
hear any discussion of that. But
Yeah, he said he had 2 friends in the boat that were supposed to be tracking him.
yeah, but that doesn't count. They're supposed to be in the water watching.
Oh, I see. So
At
they
the
can't be
surface.
observing from the boat. They got to be.
Yeah, it sounds
Yeah,
like they
because
were.
you can't see anything.
Yeah, they were, rolling the dice a little bit, not really following, standard protocol for, free diving, but it sounded like he'd been doing it for many, many years. He's quite established. So, to each his own, I guess, and you live and learn. But yeah, you should not be free diving by yourself or having one person in the water and having a couple people watch from the boat. That's not really an ideal scenario for that type of thing. And, it worked out okay for him on this one. But yeah, I advise against it. But we're glad he's okay. So there you go. I heard no talk of balls, which is good. More coming up on the World of Boating. Stay close.
You're listening to the World of Boating Radio Network. You have successfully navigated the Sea of Commerce and now are clear to cruise with the World of Boating.
I do like the water.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
The sun, the sea air, good friends.
Brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
You can't have 5 people or 10 people in a boat.
So if it is a family of 4 or 5, like husband, wife, and kids, they're going to have to pick 2 of them at a time.
They
to go
would,
on the
yeah.
boat.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Hey, Greaseball, where did you get the right to tell me how many people can come on my boat? Nobody asked that question. Whoa, really? It's on the boat or on the dock? Nobody said anything.
Sweetly sailing, darling, sweetly sailing by the sea, silver caps the ocean, we'll be sailing free.
This is the World of Boating. Greg, your first mate, Barry, the COVID boater, and Captain Patrick rounding out the crew as we navigate the latest boating news and information. And
yeah.
all right, that free diver off of Key West, they found him. He's okay. He survived, probably lesson learned. But yeah, don't free dive without a buddy, someone really watching you close. That could happen.
Free
anywhere.
diving is not free.
Well, it's not if you get lost. That's for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm glad he's okay. That's a good thing. So what else do we have to navigate before we wrap it up today, Captain Patrick? What do you think?
I wanted to circle back to a story we had reported on, I think mid to late 2022, because there was an update to it. And this really begs the question to Greg, when is a seaplane a boat?
When it floats on the water.
Okay, so when a seaplane has landed,
Mm-hmm.
boating rules then apply. Airplane rules do not.
Well, I don't know. I would say that is the case, but
Okay.
there may be some crossover there where they both apply to a certain extent. Like when you're landing and when you're taking off, you got to kind of take into the airplane stuff too.
Okay, so I would think that it goes without saying that if you see a seaplane taxiing on the water, steer clear.
Yeah.
I mean, you should give a wide berth anyway, because I would think that their ability to navigate is probably less than you in a boat.
And their props are very unforgiving.
Yeah, they will chop you into into shredded lettuce.
Hey, I saw Indiana Jones. I know what airplane props can do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so up in Alaska, there is this owner of this restaurant in Halibut Cove, and the video is on worldofboating.com and at World of Boating on Facebook. And you see the video where you see the seaplane, and she's out in this fairly large boat and heading right for it. And then as the pilot is maneuvering, getting ready to take off, he's going to take a sightseeing tour up. She's just literally just coming at it, running circles around it as it continues to move. She's just like circling this thing. And the update is she's now facing federal charges.
Well, that would be interfering with a flight. That would be a federal thing, right?
So the plane was taxiing around the water at that point, or
it was taxiing on the water, getting ready to take a tour group up. So he's out on the water, getting ready to spool up, I guess. Is that the proper term, Greg?
No, rev up, throttle up.
So spool up. We're going to go with spool because it sounds cool.
Throttle up is technically the right term, but that's fine.
All right, throttle up.
Yep.
And this boat, which you see the video, it comes right at, and then again, it's just, and you know what happens when boats start to run circles? It creates,
they make little wakes. Yeah.
Make little wakes that come together in the center and make very big waves. So, not exactly sure. The person that was indicted, Marion Beck, who owns the Saltree restaurant, has refused to comment. But the federal charges are attempted destruction of an aircraft and gross negligent operation of a vessel.
Well,
that
makes
sounds
sense.
like pretty tough stuff, you know.
Well, I mean, it sounds like she's a little annoyed that they're doing that, right? That maybe this was her way to protest, maybe, even though she's not commenting.
But if you own a restaurant and that area relies heavily on tourism, and you've got people that are on that plane, why would you go?
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying. I mean, why else would she do it? Either she was totally ignorant of it, or she was doing it intentionally.
Oh, she was doing it intentionally.
Yeah. So she had a problem with it. Maybe the noise, who knows what it was, or she just didn't like the fact that they were, landing seaplanes there in front of her restaurant or whatever the case may be.
Which they've been doing for years.
But, that's interfering with a flight. So, I mean, she should be hammered for that. That's putting people in serious danger. I mean, that's not good.
Apparently, it looks like she is going to be, I believe the legal technical term is hammered, as V Hammer versus MC case 1984 went before the Supreme Court.
Can't touch this.
I'm glad you were right on top of that one. I appreciate the assist.
Yeah,
because that one was going nowhere.
Right.
So
true.
We're going to end up with this story coming out of our Marquesas Key.
Marquesas.
We discussed this during the break, and you said I pronounced it exactly the way you told me.
Yeah, but my ears aren't working. It's COVID.
Okay.
Marquesas
so down in the Keys. So there's a sailboat. This couple that are retired, and they're doing their sailing adventure, and it's 5:30 in the morning, and it looked like a commercial vessel running a spotlight, which I have a problem. The spotlights are not meant for that. To run your boat at speed with that spotlight on, that's just bad. You shouldn't be doing that. Anyway, the name of their vessel, which I have a problem with that too. The name of their sailboat is Applesauce.
Yeah, which makes no sense.
People, think about how that sounds if you have to call for help. Anyway, so this commercial vessel, all they know it was white. It came at them so quick, and of course, with the spotlight, really couldn't see much. Rams their sailboat and takes off.
And the male occupant, he had staples in his head. He got hurt pretty good. They got Another boat was out there and was able to offer assistance. They had Coast Guard out there, but from the area that they were in, I got a feeling I know if it's a commercial boat, what type of boat and where it was heading.
And you care to share that with the rest of the class then, Barry? Or
No,
what?
I'm not going to.
No, because he's getting the reward money. Barry ain't stupid.
That's close to Everglades City, so you'd have to think about all the commercial boats and where they go in there, what they're carrying.
Like stone crab.
Tasty stone crabs.
Yeah,
delicious stone crabs.
The gentleman on the boat was suffered a concussion, lacerations, and an injury to his shoulder. His partner, she managed to get him onto the dinghy, which didn't have any type of propulsion system other than oars. And that's when another boater came over and rendered assistance and got them over to the dock. Coast Guard responded, took a couple to Key West. So if any of our listeners out there, if you have any information on this, you can contact FWC. And I'm pretty sure they're going to find out. They'll be able to find out, especially if it's a commercial vessel, the way that they're supposed to be tracking them.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably going to have an idea of who this was. But here's the thing. Accident, this is no different than you driving your car or something like that. Accidents happen. They're bad. We don't want them to happen, but they happen. The worst thing that you could do is flee.
Yeah.
Because chances are, I mean, if this gentleman had passed away, or if that boat, which had already started taking on water, if something extremely, extremely bad had happened, now you've just made it so much worse than, okay, we were doing this thing, we shouldn't have been, our fault. Let's stop. Let's make sure everybody's okay. Render assistance, not take off. That's just bad karma, man.
Yeah, well, I agree with that, but you never know. It could have been an illegal operator, refugees from Cuba, God knows what it could be, but keep your eye out. And if you got any tips, share them, collect the reward money, and help out some fellow boaters. On that note, we're going to wrap it up. Till next time, remember, whether it's sail or motor,
life is better
as a boater.
Safe boating, everyone.
Barnacle-bitten swab. World of Boating is brought to you by worldofboating.com, your internet portal for the boating enthusiast.
Any of this getting through to you, son?
World of Boating is a production of Overboard Entertainment Incorporated.
Computer standing by.
Remember, you can listen live or to archives of past shows worldwide over the internet at worldofboating.com.
Computers can do that?
So tell a friend and come aboard every week for the World of Boating.
This is so great. I can't wait. I'm getting goosebumps. Feel me. Feel me.
The radio show devoted exclusively to the boating lifestyle.
TTFN, ta-ta for now.
The opinions you just heard on the World of Boating are those of the hosts, callers, and guests. They are not necessarily those of any station or network, its management, or advertisers.
What are you being such a weenie for?
While on the water, your safety and the safety of many others depends on you. So boat smart and operate your vessel only after receiving the proper training and instruction for your area.
There is a fine line between genius and madness.
Have any questions or comments? Feel free to do so via the web at worldofboating.com.